All right, guys, I'm going to show you this fun effect I got doing this sound design project. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you this scene here. So I'm just going to show you this part here and talk about these two effects that I did. One's here, one's here. So I'll just hit play.
He has a connection to things. And even though he hadn't spoken in 8 years, he managed to say 2 words. Death tree.
So basically I'm going to talk about these two elements. There are other elements in here that I obviously added and I'm not going to talk about today. I just wanted to kind of focus on these two things. So what I have here is this is the sound of a storm, and I have it just automated. It has a quick burst here, and then it has a slow build, and then at that big moment it has this big swell here. And so this is just volume automation. So if you look over here, it's just the volume automation lane. That's all I've done here is just volume automating it. And I think, let me check here in the mix window. I have it sent to a reverb. So that's all I have is I have it ascend going out bus 3 and 4 for both of these effects that I'm going to talk about here. And it's coming into this aux channel here, which has a reverb on it. And I forget if I automated the reverb. Let me see what I might have done here. No, I didn't automate the reverb at all. So what I'll show you first is the storm sound. And I think I got both of these sounds from either freesound.org, which is a great website. You can search based on like copyright and stuff. It's really helpful. I mean, you have to weed through a lot of stuff on that site because just anyone can upload, but it's actually a really great site for finding sound effects if you're looking for them, free sound effects if you're looking for them. Or I got them off of one of the sound libraries that I own, because I do have a bunch of sound libraries here in my studio. But let me play it for you, and I'll zoom in a little so we can see this automation here. You can see this reverb going well after I've actually automated the storm sound effect all the way down. So basically what I did is I just automated the volume up for this glimpse of the skull, and I zoomed way in and was really specific about when that starts and ends. And then I also had it automate in and slowly build during this whole section here, this little like montage drama building moment. And then for the tree here, which is really the end, the culmination of this big montage, I gave it a big swell. And then the other thing here that I wanted to show you, I have this sound effect, which let me actually suspend my automation here and let you hear just the sound effect. Let me bring it up because it's all the way down right now. I can see here when I suspend the animation, when I turn it to off, this blue line is here at the bottom. So that shows me that you're not going to hear it right now. So I'm going to pull up the fader. So I'm going to do Command equals to switch to the mix window. I'm going to find that track that I have highlighted, right? Because I clicked on the nameplate before I switched over. I'm going to pull this up and then I'm going to hit play. And we can actually hear it without the reverb. And you can hear the little speaker pop here because I didn't add any kind of fade at the end, but that's fine because I have my volume automated all the way down, so it's not going to cause a speaker pop. I have basically my fade is here in the volume automation. So let me turn my automation back on, and then I can hit play here. And that's basically that for that sound effect. And then when we add the reverb in, let me let it die down for a second here. So then when I add the reverb in here, You know, I can actually play the storm sound effect without the reverb too, so you can hear that. So let me play these two combined just by themselves with their reverb, and then I'll play the whole thing again for you guys. So that's basically that. Let me let this die down here for a minute. Okay, so here's the whole thing.
Connection to things. And even though he hadn't spoken in 8 years, he managed to say 2 words. Death tree.
So that's what I personally chose to do in this instance to build tension with this. You know, it's a very dramatic montage. It's suspenseful, it's eerie, there's a lot going on in it. So this is just what I chose to do to build tension in this case. And you know, there's other stuff within this section that you probably heard that I did here. So for the bowl breaking sound, I combined a few different sounds to make that, you know, like perfect bowl breaking sound that I wanted to make. Not that it's perfect, but you know, a lot of times one element isn't enough to create the sound that we want. We have to combine a few different elements. So that's what I did here. It's like a combo of sound effects and Foley. So you know, there's more stuff here that you've probably heard. I chose to do a sound for the bowl breaking because I felt like it kind of added to the emotion somehow. But then for things like the her digging, I didn't add a sound for that. And that's because I felt like for the emotion of what was happening here, it's kind of an eerie montage. It's almost dreamlike, right? So something like a really sharp bowl breaking sound might cut through everything in your mind and it might be there if you're like recollecting it like you would a dream. Whereas the digging, it might not so much. So I chose not to add anything for that digging, but that was just my choice, you know? It's my personal choice. Oh, and I almost forgot to show you the reverb that I'm using. So basically I have Valhalla Supermassive. It's one of my favorite reverbs to reach for lately when you want something like big and dramatic. They have a lot of stuff that's a delay on here as well. So it's like kind of a delay and a reverb depending on how you use it. And I love it. I don't know. These are the settings that I used for it. And then right after it, what I have is a FabFilter Pro Q. And so what it's doing here is I'm just cutting the highs to make it more of like a low, spooky, eerie reverb. So more of like a spooky rumble, so to speak. So that's all I did with that aux track is the Valhalla Supermassive and then the FabFilter Pro Q. And I guess I'll put links in the description to those for you guys if you want to check those out. Valhalla Supermassive is actually a free plugin and it's a really good one. So if you don't have that one already, I'd definitely go check it out. So I think that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I'd love to hear what you think of this in the comments below. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'd appreciate all of that stuff. I do have that Patreon, so it's patreon.com/CatoNoise. My patrons get access to additional content. I know I say this every time, but we have a Discord server where we've been having a ton of fun. So please feel free to check that out. You can join for, I think it's as little as $1 a month, but you can pick the amount. It's any amount, you get access to all this stuff, including the Discord. So feel free to check that out. And other than that, I come out with new videos every Wednesday, and thank you for watching. Okay.